All right, let's get them out here. Our lovely Jaden is going to be our race director for the evening.
Mike Ruth, Kelly Ellison, Brandon Winchester, "1 minute to the start of the race." Brian Thomas, 45 seconds to the start of the race. "30 seconds to the start of the race." Branston Peebler, James Collett, Kyan Rice, Joey Walker, 15 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, we need one more
Less than
Marshall.
5.
One more Marshall. We need a guy in the corner. Thank you, Conley. Don't run him over. Don't run him over. Marshall on the track. Okay. Oh, we got someone falling over. Alrighty, this is a 5-minute race. We will begin in 3, 2. Marshall on track, Marshall on track. One minute in, 4 minutes remaining. We have Mike with a 25:09, James with a 19:5:15, Branston with a 19:5:16, Kelly with an 18:5:09, Joey with a 17:5:01, Brandon with a 16:5:09, and Brian with a 16:5:07. Fast lap is currently held by Mike with a 14.452. Marshall on track. Marshall on track. Got two people hooked together. All right, 2.5 minutes in, 2.5 minutes remaining. We have Mike with a 25:05, Kelly with a 19:505, Branston with a 19:515, James with a 17:505, Brandon with 16:501. Whoa, everyone's moving around. Joey with a 14:506, Brian with a 17:510. Fast lap is held by Mike with a 14.452. Marshall on track, Marshall on track. One minute remaining. We have Mike with a 25:05, Kelly with a 25:13, Branston with an 18:507, James with an 18:513, Brandon with a 17:514. Sorry. Joey with a 15:519.
45 seconds left.
16:505, and Brian with a 17:5. Fast lap is currently held by Mike with a 14.397.
"30 seconds left.
Marshall on track, Marshall on track.
15 seconds left.
And that's the race. Keep going till you hear your name.
Mike Ruth done. Branston Peebler done. Kelly Ellison done. Kyan Rice done. James Collett done. Brian Thomas done. Brandon Winchester done. All drivers are finished. Joey Walker done.
All
The race
right.
is completed.
Good job, everyone. Next up is Pro 4. We'll need stock Wheeler to Marshall. Next up is Pro 4. But we'll get the track blown off, and then we can do that. Corey.
Steve Thomas. Brian Thomas. Brandon Winchester. Hawkeye. One minute to the start of the race.
Marshall. We need 2 marshals.
45 seconds to the start of the race. "30 seconds to the start of the race. Tim Bannon. Conley Waters. 15 seconds to the start of the race.
All right. We have our marshals and we have our racers.
Less than 5.
So we will begin in 3, 2. Help. Marshall on track. Alrighty, 1 minute in, 4 minutes left to go. Everyone's got a couple laps under them. We have Brian with a 19.508, Steve with a 17.507, Brandon with a 17.509, Tim with a 17.511, Conley with 17.512, and Hawkeye with a 16.516. Fast lap is currently held by Brian with a 15.148. Two minutes in, 3 minutes remaining. We have Tim with an 18.505, Brian with an 18.517, Conley with a 17.504, Brandon with a 17.508, Steve with a 16.506, and Hawkeye with a 16.508. Fast lap is currently held by Brian with a 15.148. Marshall on track. 2 minutes to go. We have Tim with an 18.504, Brian with an 18.508, Conley with a 17.511, Brandon with a 17.512, Steve with a 16.502, and Hawkeye with a 16.505. Fast lap is held by Brian still with his 15.148. Marshall on track. 1 minute remaining. We have Brian with an 18.502, Tim with an 18.503, Brandon with a 17.503, Conley with a 17.516, Steve with a 17.518, and Hawkeye with a 16.503. Fast lap is still held by Brian with his 15.148.
45 seconds left. Thirty seconds left.
Marshall on
15
track,
seconds
Marshall
left.
on track. Marshall on track, Marshall on track. That's the race. Keep going to hear your name.
Brandon Winchester done. Brian Thomas done. Tim Bannon done. Conley Waters done.
Steve and Hawkeye, you are still alive.
Steve Thomas done.
Hawkeye, you're still alive.
All
There
drivers
you go.
are finished.
Alrighty,
Hawkeye
good
done.
job, everyone.
The race is completed.
We'll get the track blown off. We need the track blown off, and then we'll have our first heat of e-buggy, and we'll have Pro Ford Marshall. Next up is our first heat of e-buggy.
One minute to the start of the race. "45 seconds to the start of the race. Kyan Rice. Mike Ruth. Branston Peebler. Kelly Ellison. 30 seconds to the start of the race. James Collett. "15 seconds to the start of the race. Less than 5.
Alrighty. Looks like we've got our marshals. We've got our racers. So we can begin in 3, 2. 1 minute in, 4 minutes remaining. We've got Mike with a 21.511, Kelly with a 25.11, James with a 25.13, Branston with a 19.501, and Cayenne with 17.515. Fast lap is held by Mike with a 14.252. Two minutes in, 3 minutes remaining. We've got Mike with a 25, James with a 25.11, Kelly with a 25.11 also. Branston with a 19.507 and Cayenne with a 17.506. Fast lap is currently held by Mike with his 14.252. Three minutes in, 2 minutes remaining. We've got Mike with a 25, James with a 25.09, Kelly with a 25.09 also, Branston with a 19.5, and Kyer with a 17.510. Fast lap is still held by Mike with his 14.252. Marshall on track, Marshall on track. One minute remaining. We've got Mike with a 25.06, James with a 25.09, Branston with a 19.5, Kelly with a 19.505, and Kyan with a 17.508. Fast lap is still held by Mike with his 14.252.
45 seconds left. Thirty seconds left. Fifteen seconds left.
And that's the race. Keep going to hear your name.
Kyan Rice done. James Collett done. Mike Ruth done. Branston Peebler done. All drivers are finished.
Alrighty, good job, everyone.
The race is completed.
We'll blow off the track. Next up is our second heat of e-buggy. We'll need our first heat of e-buggy to Marshall. And our next up is our second heat of e-buggy.
Baby Ruth. One minute to the start of the race. "45 seconds to the start of the race. "30 seconds to the start of the race. Mountain Man. Hawkeye. Joey Walker. 15 seconds to the start of the race. Less than 5. Conley Waters.
We need a Marshall. Marshall. Okay. Yeah, let's start. We'll begin in 3, 2. Alrighty, 1 minute and 4 minutes remaining. We've got Chad with a 25:11, Taylor with a 25:14, Conley with a 19:5:10, and Hawkeye with a 17:5:05, and Joey with a 17:5:09. Fast lap is currently held by Taylor with a 14.750. 2 minutes in, 3 minutes remaining. We've got Taylor with a 25:07, Chad with a 25:13, Conley with an 18:5, Hawkeye with an 18:5:13, and Joey with a 17:5:09. Fast lap is currently held by Taylor, still with his 14.750. 3 minutes in, 2 minutes remaining. We've got Chad with a 25:13, Taylor with a 25:14, Conley with an 18:5:08, Hawkeye with an 18:5:13, and Joey with a 17:5:10. Marshall on track, Marshall on track. Fast lap is still held by Taylor with his 14.750. 1 minute remaining. We've got Taylor with a 25:09, Chad with a 25:14, Conley with an 18:5:03, Hawkeye with a 16:5:02, and Joey with a 16:5:05. Fast lap is still held by Taylor with his 14.750.
45 seconds left.
Marshall on track, Marshall on track.
30 seconds left. Fifteen seconds left.
That's the race. Keep going to your name.
Joey Walker done. Conley Waters done. Baby Ruth done. Hawkeye done. All drivers are finished.
All right.
Mountain
Good
Man
job,
done.
everyone.
The race is completed.
We'll get the track blown off and re-wet, and we'll get started with our next set of qualifying. We're going to have a second qualifier. We'll start back in 10 minutes. Same order. Okay. We can get started now. We're up to Stockwheeler. We'll need our second heat of E-Buggy to Marshall.
One minute to the start of the race. "45 seconds to the start of the race. Mike Ruth. "30 seconds to the start of the race. "15 seconds to the start of the race. Brandon Winchester. Joey Walker. Less than 5. Kelly Ellison. Kyan Rice.
Marshall.
Brandon
We
Peebler.
need 3 Marshalls. All right, no one run into Scott. He's walking on the strip.
Ryan Thomas. James Collett.
Alrighty, we have what? Oh, we got. Making fun of me? No. Okay, we've got all our racers. We've got all our marshals. We will begin in 3, 2. Inside, you got a guy on the inside. Are you okay? Marshall on track, Marshall on track. One minute in, 4 minutes remaining. Everyone's got a couple laps under them. We have Mike with a 21.506, Kelly with a 28.510, Branston with a 19.503. James with an 18.5. Brandon with a 17.506. Kyan with a, where'd he go? 16.513. Joey with a 16.506. And Brian with an 18.509. Fast lap is currently held by Mike with a 14.413. Marshall on track, Marshall on track. Alrighty, halfway, 2.5 minutes in, 2.5 minutes remaining. We have Mike with a 25, Kelly with a 25.03, James with a 19.503, Branston with a 19.508, Kyan with a 17.5, Brandon with 16.503, Joey with a 16.518, and Brian with a 19.514. Fast lap is still held by Mike with his 14.413. Marshall on track, Marshall on track. Marshall's on track, Marshall's on track. 1 minute remaining. We have Kelly with a 25.01, Mike with a 25.02, James with a 19.506, Branson with an 18.503, Kyan with a 17.501, Brandon in a 16.502, Joey in a 15.510, and Brian with an 18.503. Fast lap is still held by Mike
45 seconds left.
With his 14.413.
Thirty seconds left. Fifteen seconds left.
That's the race. Keep going to your name.
Mike Ruth done. Kyan Rice done. Branston Peebler done. Kelly Ellison done. Joey Walker done. Brian Thomas done. Brandon Winchester done. All drivers are finished.
Alrighty, good job everyone.
The race is
we'll get the track
completed.
blown off. Next up is our Pro 4. We'll need stock wheel to Marshall. Next up is Pro 4.
Steve Thomas, Brandon Winchester, Conley Waters, Tim Bannon, Hawkeye, Brian Thomas. One minute to the start of the race. "45 seconds to the start of the race. "30 seconds to the start of the race.
We need
15
one more
seconds to the start
Marshall.
of the race.
One more Marshall. Oh, sorry, I didn't see ya.
Less than 5.
Well then, if we've got all our marshals and all our racers, we will begin in 3, 2. Whoa. 1 minute in, 4 minutes remaining. We've got Brandon with an 18.503, Brian with an 18.509, Hawkeye with a 17.503, Tim with a 16.502, Steve with a 16.504, and Conley with a 16.507. Fast lap is held by Conley with a 16.377. Two minutes in, 3 minutes remaining. We've got Hawkeye with an 18.516, Tim with a 7. Oop, everyone's moving around. Tim with an 18.513, Brandon with an 18.515. Hawkeye now has an 18.516, Brian with a 17.506, Conley with a 17.518, and Steve with a 16.503. Fast lap is currently held by Tim with a 15.698. Three minutes in, 2 minutes remaining. We've got Brandon with an 18.511, Tim with a 17.5, Brian with a 17.501, Hawkeye with a 17.506, Conley with 17.514, and Steve with a 16.501. Fast lap is held by Tim with a 15.698. 1 minute remaining. We have Brandon with an 18.510, Tim with an 18.511, Hawkeye with a 17.504, Brian with a 17.511, Conley with a 17.516, and Steve with a 16.5. Fast lap is held by Tim with a 15.698.
45 seconds left. Thirty seconds left. Fifteen seconds left.
Marshall on track, Marshall on track. And that's the race. Keep going to hear your name, but at the last second, Brian set a new fast
Brandon
lap of the
Winchester
race
done.
of a 15.147.
Tim Bannon done. Brian Thomas done. Hawkeye done. Conley Waters done. All drivers are finished.
Good job, everyone.
Steve Thomas done.
Next up is
race
our
is
first
completed.
heat of e-buggy. We'll get the track blown off, and then we can do that. We'll need Pro 4 to Marshall, Pro 4 to Marshall.
Mike Ruth. Branston Peebler. One minute to the start of the race. James Collett. Kyan Rice. 45 seconds to the start of the race. Kelly Ellison. 30 seconds to the start of the race.
We just need one Marshall by the X-ray sign. One Marshall by the X-ray.
15 seconds to the start of the race.
Thank you, Scott.
Less than 5.
Alrighty, we've got our racers and our marshals, so we will begin in 3, 2. 1 minute in, 4 minutes remaining. Everyone's gotten a couple laps under themselves. We've got Mike with a 21.506, Branston with a 20.506, James with a 25.10, Kelly with a 25.10 also, and Cayenne with a 19.5. Fast lap is currently held by Mike with a 14.514. Minutes in, 3 minutes remaining. We've got Mike with a 21.511, Kelly with a 20.507, Branston with a 25.11, and Cayenne with a 25.14, and James with an 18.506. Fast lap is still held by Mike with a 14.304. Three minutes in, 2 minutes remaining. We've got Mike with a 21.509, Kelly with a 25.08, Branston with a 19.5, Cayenne with a 19.514, and James with a 19.513. Fast lap is held by Mike with a 14.304. 1 minute remaining. We've got Mike with a 21.514, Kelly with a 20.506, Branston with a 19.503, James with a 19.509, and Cayenne with a 19.514. Fast lap is Mike with a 14.304.
45 seconds left. Thirty seconds left. Fifteen seconds left.
And that's the race. Keep going to hear your name.
Kelly Ellison done. Mike Ruth done. Cayenne Rice done. James Collett done. All drivers are finished. Branston Peebler done.
Good job, everyone.
The race is
We'll
completed.
get the track blown off, and then we'll be on to our second heat of e-buggy. We'll need our first heat to marshal. We're on to our second heat of e-buggy. We'll need first heat to marshal.
Baby Ruth. Mountain Man. Joey Walker. Hawkeye. Conley Waters. One minute to the start of the race. Anthony Betmar.
We need 3 marshals. 3 marshals.
"45 seconds to the start of the race.
Marshal on the strip.
30 seconds to the start of the race.
Alrighty, we've got our marshals and we've got our
15 seconds to the
racers.
start of the race.
So we will begin in 3, 2. Alrighty, 1 minute in, 4 minutes remaining. Everyone's got a good amount of laps. We've got Taylor with a 21.5.13, Conley with a 19.5.16, Hawkeye with an 18.5.10, Chad with a 17.5.11, Dad with a 16.5.05, and Joey with a 16.5.09. Fast lap is currently held by Taylor with a 14.670. Two minutes in, 3 minutes remaining. We've got Taylor with a 20.501, Conley with an 18.502, Chad with an 18.507, Hawkeye with a 17.505, Dad with a 16.506, and Joey with a 16.503. Fast lap is still held by Taylor with his 14.670. Three minutes in, 2 minutes remaining. We've got Taylor with a 20.501, Conley with a 19.513, Chad with an 18.501, Hawkeye with a 17.509, Dad with a 16.516, and Joey with a 17.513. Fast lap is still held by Taylor with a 14.350. 1 minute remaining. We've got Taylor with a 25:01, Conley with a 19:5:14, Chad with an 18:5:04, Hawkeye with a 17:5:05, Dad with a 16:5:13, and Joey with a 17:5:11. Fast lap is held by Taylor with his 14.350.
45 seconds left. Thirty seconds left. Fifteen seconds left.
And that's the race. Keep going to hear your name.
Baby Ruth done. Mountain Man done. Hawkeye done. Joey Walker done. Anthony Beckbar done. All drivers are finished. Conley Waters done. The race is completed.
All right, good job, everyone. We'll get the track blown off and maybe wet down, and then we'll do the mains.
All right. It will be our Buggy B and E-Truck race.
Joey Walker.
Marshals are going to be my A-main drivers and one volunteer, please. Thank you, Jaden. Say what, Wabba? Yeah, that's starting to break out even worse. Earlier when I was marshaling down there was a chunk about that big that came out of it.
James Collett. Branston Peebler. Kyan Rice. Hawkeye. Anthony Beckbar. 1 minute to the start of the race.
Alrighty, I got marshals. I got everybody checked in. Look at you guys.
45 seconds to the
All
start
right,
of
no
the
more
race.
laps, no more laps, no more laps. Let's get them lined up. We're going to put Branston on the 1, James on the 2, Kyan on the 3, Conley on the 4,
to the start of the race.
Hawkeye on the 5, Anthony on the 6, and Joey running his own race there. Well, it sounds like Branston's running a
seconds to the start
hovercraft.
of the
You hear
race.
that thing? All right. 5 minutes, 2 bumps on the turn. Oh. Oh, watch front. Oh, it got back on its wheels. Okay. All right. So after an eventful first lap, we got Branston out front. We got Kyan up to the 2, Conley 3, James slips back to the 4, Hawkeye 5, Anthony 6. Joey would slot into 6th just ahead of Anthony if he were running the same race. All right, pick up our leader. Looks like Kyan's gotten by Branston over that backside tabletop. They working their way around Hawkeye here. So Kyan to the point, Branston to the 2. James worked his way back to the 3 spot now. Conley in that 4 spot. Then we got Anthony 5 in the buggy, but it actually looks like Joey's in that 5 spot. And then Hawkeye 6. Oh, James gets by both, so he goes from 3rd to 1st, all there, and then he gives it right back. Branston's going to take over the lead. James got in that no man's land there. All right, so Branston coming up behind Anthony here. Gets by there cleanly. So Kyan is 5 seconds back in that 2nd spot. Conley 3, James 4. 2, 3, 4. We're just separated by about a second that last time by. Oh, James traction roll in turn 1. So Branston out front. Kyan in the 2, Conley in the 3, but trouble in the wagon wheel. Taylor gets him cleaned up quickly. James goes 4. Oh, Hawkeye on his lid there after the stadium jump. So there's your leader crossing the start-finish line now. And there's 2 spot right there. 4.4 back. Oh, our leader now on his lid on the stadium jump. Worst place to dash right here. So he and Kyan go side by side. Kyan's going to get the better, and they're coming up behind Joey. Joey pulls over, gives them some room. They're banging through that wagon wheel. Now James and Conley, that 3-4 battle. They're right up behind Hawkeye. James having a little bit of trouble here. Conley getting a little bit of gap here. All right. Branson has made his way back to the front here. Across the start-finish line there. Branston in the 2, 1.8 back. Other than a little bit of bragging rights, doesn't really matter how you two finish as long as you finish 1-2. James is 6.5 back in that 3 spot, then Conley in the 4. So that 6-second gap is what we're watching, but there's only 53 seconds to go. So James is going to need a little help from either Kyan or Branson if he's going to make good help here.
45 seconds left. "30 seconds left. "15 seconds left.
All right, Kyan's still out front. Oh, now Conley's gotten by. Oh, no, No. I'm sorry. Conley was a lap down.
Anthony Beckmar done. Joey Walker done.
All right, Anthony finishes
Kyan
in the
Rice
5th
done.
place overall, or 5th
Branson
place
Peebler
in
done.
Dougie. Hawkeye
done.
finishes 6th. Kyan gets the
Conley
win.
Waters
Branson
done.
gets the 2.
All drivers are finished.
James comes home
James
3,
Collins
Conley
done.
4. So
The race is
Kyan and
completed.
Branson going to get the bumps, put them down. Well, get your batteries going, then put them down. Come on out and marshal for me. Actually, I think you two are actually in the next race anyway. All right, check him in.
Brian Thomas. Brandon Winchester. Steve Thomas.
All right, I'm going to need marshals from that last race.
Tim Bannon. Hawkeye. Conley Waters.
Yeah. Yes.
"1 minute to the start of the race. "45 seconds to the start of the race. "30 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, I got everybody checked in. I got my marshals. Let's get them lined up. Brian on the 1, Tim on the 2, Brandon on the 3, Hawkeye on the 4, Conley on the 5, and Steve
15
on the
seconds to the
6.
start of the race.
All righty then. There's going to be 6 minutes on the tone. All right, so we got Brian out front, followed by Winchester in the 2, then Tim 3, Conley 4, Hawkeye 5, Steve 6. Our leaders over through the wagon wheel. Bannon on his lid, going to let Conley get by. Our leaders separated by 1.004 seconds. Then Conley another 2.8 back from there. Oh, Bannon on his lid again. So that's going to drop Bannon all the way back to the 6th spot here. Our leaders, Winchester, right here on Brian, down the middle straight. They put a lap on Steve, working up behind Bannon right now. Bannon racing for position against Hawkeye. Manning goes a little wide, going to give Brian room to get through here. So our leaders have a lap car of Bannon between them. Coming up behind Hawkeye here. Hawkeye climbs the fence. And that's going to let Bannon get by him too. Oh, Bannon and Brian get together, let Winchester back in front momentarily, but then Winchester having trouble. Now Conley and Bannon banging wheels, but I think they're a lap apart. Hawkeye gets back by Bannon. So at 2:45 or 2:40 down, it's Brian Thomas, Conley, Brandon, Hawkeye Steve, and Tim Bannon. All right, we got 2:45 to go. It's Brian out front. He's now pulled out 8.5 seconds over Winchester in that 2 spot. Then we got Conley in the 3. He's another 8 seconds back from Brandon. Hawkeye in the 4, over a lap behind Conley. Steve just 2.3 seconds behind Conley the last time by. Well, no, I'm sorry, just behind Hawkeye. But now that has grown out. So 2 to go, 2 to go. It's Thomas, Winchester, Waters, Kirby, Bannon, and Thomas. Oh, watch the backstretch. I think that was Hawkeye. $1:30 to go, 1:30 to go. I heard Brian almost 2/3 of a lap ahead of second place Winchester. Right there is Winchester crossing the line, and now Bryan crossing again. That's how close Bryan is actually lapping second place now with a minute to go. Conley in that third spot. He's another 9 seconds back from Winchester. And then Bannon then a lap back from Conley. That's your 4th spot. Steve 3 seconds behind
45
Tim.
seconds left.
And Hawkeye 9.5 behind Steve.
.30 seconds left. .15 seconds left.
Bryan doing his victory lap here, going to get across the line as the winner, Brian
Steve
Thomas.
done.
Steve finishes
Brian
right
Thomas
in front
done.
of him. Steve's going to come home in that 5th spot.
Tim Bannon done.
You had
Conley
19
Waters done.
laps,
All drivers are
19 in
finished.
6 minutes.
Brandon Winchester done. The race is completed.
So Brian, Brandon, Conley, your top 3. Then Tim, Steve, and Hawkeye. Put them down. Come on out and marshal for me. Up next is my Wheeler.
Mike Ruth. Kelly Ellison. Kyan Rice. One minute to the start of the race. James Collett. Joey Walker. 45 seconds to the start of the race. Brian Thomas. Branston Peebler. 30 seconds to the start of the race. "15 seconds to the start of the race.
Give Winchester a minute
Winchester.
here. I need some marshals.
Less than 5.
So I got Tim, I got Hawkeye. Brandon's in this one. Brian's in this one. So can I get one volunteer, please? At least one. One volunteer, please, back by the Hootie sign. All right, guys, let's get them lined up while we're waiting. Kelly on the 1, Mike on the 2, James on the 3, Branston on the 4, Brandon 5, Kyan 6, Joey 7, and Brian 8. Hey, Mr. Bannon, we gotta get your wrecking done before Joey starts on the 7. You're on the 7, so right after that blue car. There you go. All righty then. This is going to be 7 minutes on the tone. I didn't touch no tone yet. I heard that. All right, Mike out front. Now Kelly takes that over. Kine having a little trouble, gets marshaled, already going to lose a lap here. And they're coming down the front stretch, coming up behind Joey here. That's your leaders. Mike trouble landing off that tabletop. Oh, and Mike, help, help, help. Stadium jump, help, stadium jump. So Mike just lost about half a lap there. Yeah, Mike lost about 9 seconds. All right, so we got Kelly out front. Branston now in the 2 spot. Well, nope, Branston had an issue there, so Mike back into the 2 spot. 9.5 seconds back. Then we got Branston 3, Brandon 4, James 5, Kyan 6, Joey 7. In the overall, Brian would be 7 and Joey would be 8. All right, there's our leader crossing the line now. Last time by, he had 8.5 over Mike. We'll see what it is here. Crossing the line, Mike 7.8. Actually, lap before, Mike hot lapped at 14.252. Kelly's got a fast lap of 14.5. Branson a 14.7. James a 15.2. Kyan's got a 14.8. James has a 15.2, Brandon a 17.2, Joey a 17.1, and Brian's fast lap is a 14.9. So pick up our leader down the middle stretch over that backside hump, into the wagon wheel, down the front stretch he goes, crosses the start-finish line. Kelly, last time by, had 6.6 seconds over Mike. Mike looks like he had a little bit longer lap this time. He did, and going to be a long one this time. So much so that the leader's almost there to lap him now. All right, so we got 3:20 to go. Kelly, Mike, James, your top 3. Nobody closer than 7 seconds. That's Mike to James. Then we got Kyan, Branston, and Brandon. That's your 4, 5, 6. Joey in the 7. Brian right now would slot in 6th overall. So our leader right up behind Mike, but they're a lap apart. Kelly trying to put a lap on Mike. Now Kelly gets it wrong going into turn 1, but has big enough lead over Mike that that's not going to hurt him too badly at all. So James 7.3 back from Mike. Make that 8 seconds now. Mike now has that down to 7.3 seconds, but as I say that, traction rolls into turn 2. Mike still in that 2 spot. James 3. James just got lapped by Kelly. Kyan in the 4 spot. He's 5 seconds back from James. Branston 11.5 back from Kyan. Brandon a lap back from Branston, and Joey a couple laps back from Brandon. Oh, watch the middle stretch. Watch that middle straight. That was Kyan on his lid. Got caught. Help, help. Anthony, behind you. All right, we got a minute to go, minute 5. Kelly out front has 12.5 seconds, well, 11.5 seconds over Mike. There's another 4.5 back to James. Then Kyan a lap back from James. Brandon 7.3 back from there. Brandon almost 2 laps back now from
45
Branston.
seconds left.
Oh, James gets hooked up with Joey.
30 seconds left.
But he's got a big enough lead over Kyan. That's not going to change anything. So Kelly going to end up going flag to flag on this one.
15 seconds left.
At this point, Kelly cannot be beat.
Brandon Winchester done. Mike Ruth done. Brian Thomas done. Branston Peebler done. Kelly Ellison done. Kyan Rice done. James Collett done.
All right, everybody's done. Kyan ran his fast lap on the last
Joey
lap
Walker
of 14.3, and
The race is
Brian ran his
completed.
fast lap on the last lap, 14.5. So Kelly going to take the win. Mike the 2, James the 3, Kyan 4, Branston 5, Brandon 6, Joey 7. Brian would have finished 5th in the overall.
Mike Ruth. Baby Ruth. Mountain Man. Kelly Ellison. One minute to the start of the race.
All right, had a couple back-to-backs there. We'll give them a minute to get out here.
"45 seconds to the start of the race. "30 seconds to the start of the race. 15 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, still need
Less
some
than
marshals
5.
waiting on Cayenne and Branston here. This is going to be an 8-minute race. What happened?
Branston Peebler. Cayenne Rice.
All right, I got marshals. I got everybody checked in. Let's get them lined up. So it was going to be Mike on the 1, but now it's going to be Taylor on the 1. Kelly going to move to the 2. Chad the 3. Cayenne the 4. And Branston the 5. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Mike, are you able to fix it? Well, if you can find one, let's give Mike a minute here. We got plenty of time. Let's give Mike a minute. What kind of screw you need, Mike? Hey, Mike, go in my 3rd drawer down. There should be a yellow. Here, I'll go down there. Everybody move back one. All right, there we go. All right. 8 minutes on the tone. All right. So Mike out front. Taylor dropped all the way to 6, but he's worked himself back to the 3rd spot. Now he's worked himself back to the 2. Then it's going to be Kelly in the 3, Chad 4, Branston 5, Kyan 6. We're a minute in, 7 to go. Mike has 2.5 over Taylor. Taylor has 1.8 over Kelly. Kelly has 2.4 over Chad. Chad only had a half second over Branston last time by. And there was another 1.3 to Kyan. 8.5 separating the field right now. Fast lap belongs to Taylor, 14.4. Mike just ran his fast lap of 14.6. Chad just ran his fast, 15.2. All right, Chad's gotten by Kelly. And then Chad, little trouble in the wagon wheel. Lets Kelly get back by. Branston right there. Kelly, Chad, Branston, they cross the line. 8/10 separating the 3 of them there. Chad, another rough ride through the wagon wheel. Lets Branston up into that 4 spot. Mike over that stadium jump, then Taylor. It was 2.8 the last time by. Still 5.5 minutes to go. Chad still dogging Branston, trying to get that 4 spot back. Kelly checking out a little bit here. So Mike has 1.8 over Taylor. Then it's another 4.9 back to Kelly. Oh, Taylor on his lid in the worst spot possible. Kelly couldn't quite capitalize on it. Branston has a problem. Going to let Chad get by for the 4 spot. So now Taylor falls back 6.8 back. Kelly just 1.2 back from there. Then Chad 4, Branston 5, Kyan 6. We got 4:20 to go. Mike coming up, put a lap on Chad here. Check the gap at the line. Taylor clawed back about a second there. That's 6 back. Then Kelly 3 back from Taylor. Chad 7.5 back from Kelly. Oh, Taylor's trouble on that turn 2. Kelly right there. But then Kelly goes long and wide on the stadium jump lander. Was 3.3, now 1.7, the gap between them. All the while, Mike just clicking them off, does own the fast lap of the race. 14.194 for Mike. That was set about 10 laps ago. Missed that one. Taylor fast lap 14.4. Kelly's got a 14.437. Branston a 15.0. Chad a 15.2. And Kyan a 14.9. Branston has gotten back by Chad. So right now, closest race is between Taylor and Kelly at 3 seconds. Nobody else within 5 seconds of their next rival. We have 2 minutes 15 to go. Oh, trouble in the wagon wheel. Gets Kelly hung up. But doesn't change the running order in any way. Got a minute 15 to go. Mike now still 6 seconds out front. All right, 45 seconds to go.
45 seconds
Mike
left.
4.5 seconds over Taylor, but now Taylor on his lid. That is not for position. Kelly's got a lap on you, Chad.
30 seconds left.
I didn't know if you knew or not.
15 seconds left.
All right, 5 seconds to go.
Kyan Rice done. Baby Ruth done. Kelly Ellison done. Mike Ruth done. Brandon Peebler done. All drivers are finished. Mountain Man done. The race is completed.
All right, that's a race. Thank you, guys. Thank you. We'll get podium pictures going here momentarily.